If you didn't have a chance to watch tonight's Colorado versus Arizona State game, let me just give you a recap. This man, Shedeur Sanders, took this team on his shoulders and led this team to victory. Shedeur Sanders is the only reason that Colorado was able to emerge victorious. Shedeur Sanders is him. Shedeur Sanders is that quarterback. He is that leader that Deion Sanders tells us that he is. I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to watch tonight's game. There weren't a bunch of celebrities running around. It was out in Tempe, Arizona. It wasn't in Boulder. It wasn't on national television. I had to dig around and hunt for it and found it on Fubo or Fubo, whatever it's called, where the Pac-12 network was. And I settled in to watch what turned out to be an amazing game. For some reason, and I don't know why, the Colorado Buffaloes football team plays like crap in the first half. It's just been the same thing game after game after game. And tonight, it almost caught up with them. Arizona State, who's 1-4, put up a tough fight and almost beat the Colorado Buffaloes. Except they didn't have Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders had the answer for everything. That's despite him getting sacked over and over and over. At the end of the game, he throws what looks to be about a 45-yard strike down the field to get them into field goal range to take over. What a play. The kid is fantastic. So what's my instant reaction to what I saw in tonight's game? So I live tweeted the entire game. You can check my Twitter profile, and there's just a string of tweets about this game. And I remember the theme of what I was seeing over and over and over. Number one, this team is undisciplined, completely undisciplined. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, you got to do something about these guys. The penalties are eating you up. Unforced errors, personal fouls, stupid penalties at stupid times are going to cause you to lose a lot of games. It almost cost you the game tonight. You got to stop that. The offensive line, number two. Not sure if it's all on them or partly on Shedeur, but this kid is going to get hurt. He can't play game after game after game, getting 3, 4, 5 sacks every single game. He's a tough-ass kid. There's no doubt about it. Shedeur Sanders is one tough-ass kid, but you can't expect him. You can't expect him to take this kind of a beating every single game and last the entire season. And we all know that Travis Hunter is going to be coming back in next week or maybe the week after the bye. So that's going to take a big load off of Shedeur. He's going to have his number one guy out there. Omarion just wasn't in the game. I don't know what happened. He just completely disappeared. Nothing tonight from Omarion. Hankerson, some good running. That kid is a good running back. Weaver, I gotta say, Weaver saved the game with a huge punt return, 50-yard punt return, and almost ran it back for a touchdown, except the turf monster tripped him up. I think it was the punter, actually, but he almost ran it back for a touchdown. Overall, the Buffaloes played very well in the second half. They just keep waiting until the second half, even late into the third quarter, before they start adjusting. I don't know why. I've never seen anything like this in football. It's a complete enigma. It's as if they don't understand the game plan in the first half. It's the same thing every single week. Deion, not sure what's going on, but the guys just aren't performing in the first half. As long as you have Shedeur, like you said, this kid is simply phenomenal. And hats off to you, because you can actually see him take the game onto his own shoulders and say, all right, it's time for me to shine. Time for me to go ahead and make this team win. If it's in the last couple minutes, you can almost see the fire in his eyes and saying, I'm going to take this. And not just with his arms. There were a couple runs where he just took on the guys that were coming after. He bull rushed one guy and put him on his butt. Just loved to see it. And then he took off in another play right behind it, and he slid. And he just plays lights out when he's behind in the fourth quarter. He's got this intangible quality that you don't see in a lot of players. It's simply fun to watch. It's fun to watch Shedeur come to life in the later half of the game. He didn't have his big 400 yards passing today, but he ran for a clutch 16-yard touchdown. He helped convert on a couple fourth down plays, and he just played lights out when the team needed him to play lights out. Hats off, Shedeur. This team doesn't win if he's not on the field. So because he won't win if he's not on the field, you got to find a way to protect him. I understand he's tough. I understand that this kid just means everything to everybody, and that he is him. But you got to protect him. I think it's something like 29 sacks he's had this year already. You only played 6 games, and he's got 29 or 30 sacks. You can't keep that up. But overall, the reaction of what I saw tonight was a fighting team. A team that just didn't want to lose. A team that just challenged themselves and said, we're going to figure out a way and pull this game out. Coach Sanders, just loved the way that you got these guys together. That kicker at the end, when they tried to ice him and he came back and boom, he hit it again, a 43-yard field goal, a 43-yard field goal after kicking a 42-yard field goal. That kid got ice in his veins. He played phenomenal. And I loved his little dance at the end. It was really funny. It was really funny how Coach Sanders encouraged the kicker to go ahead and do his dance. You did it, bro. Go ahead and do your dance. My other reaction is, this is not going to cut it against UCLA. It's probably not going to cut it against Stanford. It's probably not going to cut it against Washington State. You're at 4-2 right now. You need 2 or 3 wins to get into a good bowl game. You're going to have to figure out a way to get those things that are holding this team back fixed really quick. Maybe the bye week's going to help. I don't know, but you can't have the undisciplinedness, the unforced errors of penalties. Those penalties are stupid and they will kill this team. And you got to find a way to protect Shedeur Sanders. You know, if Shedeur Sanders goes down, forget about it. It's over. Game over, season over. So you've got to protect him. Colorado has a good team. They're not a great team yet, but they are a good team. And they seem to be a bunch of fun-loving kids as well. Let's go ahead and figure out a way, Coach Prime, to protect Shedeur. Let's tell these kids, hey, listen, you got to keep your head in the game. You can't do these penalties. These penalties are going to get you in big trouble. And one other thing, it's not just the Colorado Buffaloes. It's a malaise that's happening throughout college football and the NFL. What in the hell has happened with people being able to tackle? The tackling that I keep seeing in college football and on some NFL games is atrocious. We were taught when we played to stick, get a hit, and then wrap. And what we're seeing, especially tonight, we saw missed tackle, broken tackle, guys trying to pull people down with their arms, not getting a good stick. The tackling has to get better. I know you can't hit every day like we did when we were growing up, but you got to find a way to get these guys to learn how to hit and wrap a lot better than they're doing right now. In closing, let's look at what Shedeur Sanders' final numbers were. Shedeur was 26 of 42, 239 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and most importantly, no interceptions. And he also ran for a touchdown. Definitely player of the game. Definitely the guy who keeps Colorado moving. Other than that, bask in the win. It was fantastic. You pulled it out. I know some people are going to say you're lucky to win it. I know some people are going to say it was a garbage team that you played, but it's a win. And take the win and move on and understand this team was 1-11 last year, and now they're already 4-2 and looking at a bowl game. Take the win, get better, and be ready for next week. Let me know what you guys think after watching the game, or if you didn't get to watch the game, if I filled you in enough that you now see what the Colorado Buffaloes need to do to be a better team. Congratulations, Colorado. You earned it. Have a safe flight home. Talk to you soon.